All of these images were generated and edited using the latest Flux 2 Klein 9B model. I stress tested it and was able to produce amazing results as you can see here. There are still some imperfections from time to time, but generally it produces great results 90% of the time. The real strength of this model is its speed. Since this is a distilled model, most of the time 4 steps are all you need to achieve a stunning result. This is such a great model for 8GB VRAM users who usually have to wait much longer for generations. This is the Hugging Face page for the model, and I'm using the 7GB Q5KM version. This is the text encoder I'm using. The FP4 versions are blisteringly fast, especially on RTX 5000 series Blackwell GPUs. This is the all-in-one workflow I used for my generations. Here you have the direct one-click download links to all the models, as well as the directory where you should place them after downloading. These are the nodes where you can select the models after downloading them. Over here, you have the upscaler. You only need to use it when you want a sharper, higher resolution image. Here, you can select the resolution. And here, you can upload the image you want to edit. Enable it when you are editing images and disable it if you want to generate new ones. Only enable these nodes if you have multiple images to edit. Now let's generate an image using this prompt and try editing it. Here I'm only using 4 steps, but you can try increasing it to a value like 8 if you get poor results. Here's our image, and it took only 21 seconds. Let's enable our image upload node and select the image we just generated. For my first edit, I'm going to try removing the tourists from the background. Let's try it using 4 steps. Here's the result, and it took only 41 seconds. Now let's try changing the sky. Here's the result within 40 seconds. You can try changing the seed or increasing the number of steps if you aren't satisfied with the outcome. Let's try adding a red beret to the woman's head. You can see the result here, which again took 40 seconds. Now let's try changing the entire background. Here it is. Well, it's not the most perfect result, but you can clearly see its abilities and potential to perform edits using only 4 steps while being really fast. This time, let's try using multiple instructions. Here's the result. This model can indeed follow multiple instructions using only 4 steps. Make sure to set the value of control after generate to fixed if you want to upscale the image after generating it. Here you can enable the upscaler model. Here's the upscaled image, and it took only 25 seconds to upscale it to 4 times the resolution. To be honest, the skin does look a bit plastic. However, the other details stay sharp even when I zoom all the way in. Now let's disable the upscale model, change the resolution to widescreen, disable the load image node, and try our next prompt. And here's our result. Now let's upload our generated image and transform it into a busy place. Here's the result using 4 steps, and the man's face is distorted. Let's try increasing the number of steps to 8. Here's the result, and it took 68 seconds. But the quality has significantly improved. Let's try upscaling the image and comparing the details. Here you can see how powerful the Ultra Sharp version 2 upscaler is. Let's disable the upscaler node and the upload image node to try our 3rd generation. I have intentionally chosen an extremely complex prompt for this one to test the model's limitations. This is so meticulous that it's really difficult for an AI model to generate, especially using only 4 steps. Here's the image, and it has ignored a lot of instructions. Let's try increasing the number of steps to 8. In non-distilled models, you could try increasing the CFG value when it ignores the instructions. But since this is a distilled model, you can't really justify the performance hit if you increase the CFG. Well, here's the image, and it's worse than the previous one. There are a lot of imperfections throughout the image. Let's try increasing the steps to 12. And finally, it has followed all of our instructions and has fewer imperfections. Let's try turning this into a depiction of real life. Currently, it's really difficult to get it right when a sketch has such complex details like this, even with models like Gemini 3 Pro. Here's the result using only 4 steps, and well, it's okay, but definitely not a realistic depiction. The faces are missed and the image looks dull. Let's try increasing the number of steps to 8. Here's the result, and you can immediately notice the improvement in the quality of lighting and shadows. You can also see a lot of detail in every object. The faces are still a mess though. Let's see what 12 steps would give us. Well, here's the result, and it's clear that after 8 steps, we are gaining only minuscule improvements. Now let's see the model's ability to preserve the original details of a person when using different camera angles, outfits, settings, and expressions. Here's our image. She has a floral tattoo sleeve covering her entire right arm, a small geometric tattoo on her right ribs, short platinum blonde hair, and a nose ring. Let's try changing the setting and see how consistently the Flux to Klein model keeps her appearance. I'm using 8 steps for this. Here's the result, and you can see both the tattoos and the nose ring are there, and she looks like the same person from the original image. It took 75 seconds for the 8-step generation process. Let's try putting her in a different setting and dress. I'm using 8 steps for this one as well. Here's the image. Let's compare it with the original one. Well, the nose ring is gone, but the other details are perfectly preserved. Let's try adding the nose ring into the prompt this time. Here's the image, but now we have 2 rings. Other than that, however, the image looks stunning. Let's try putting her in another setting. For this one, let's first try it with 4 steps. Here's the image. It took 40 seconds and everything seems fine except for the nose ring. Here I tried it using 8 steps and we got some additional details at the cost of 30 more seconds. Let's try putting her in a nature scene and see what we get. Let's use only 4 steps for this one. Here's the result in 40 seconds and it looks good. She has that nose ring again. She looks like the same person as in the original image. Let's upscale it to make it look sharper. Just enable the upscale node and hit run. Here's the image. It looks sharper and stunning. Now let's try putting her in a luxury setting using only 4 steps. Here's the image and it looks gorgeous. The tattoo is there, as is the nose ring, and her short platinum blonde hair is also spot on. Here are some more generations for you. As you can see here, the model is really good with character consistency. It can achieve stunning results using only 4 steps most of the time. This model is perfect for users with 8GB of VRAM. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.